Hello, Libra. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree. And I'm going to be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of May 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my white tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite tarot. And then Libra, I will close out your reading with a Secret Language of Color oracle card. So I hope you all are having a good spring so far. Getting ready for summer, and I feel really good. I feel really good, Libra. Let's see what's showing up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of May 2021. What do we need to know for the sign of Libra? All right, Libra, so you're moving in a new direction. However, there's lots of hesitation and there is a feeling of not having everything you need. We got the Fool card, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Six of Wands, Page of Swords, High Priestess reverse. Now, the Fool card in reverse, this talks about you moving into a new direction. You going on a new adventure, Libra. When it shows up in the reverse, this means that it's like you know you want to do this, but there's something holding you back. Intuitively, something is resonating with you, but you can't necessarily take that leap. It's like you know there's something calling you, and for some reason you're holding back, okay? Now, this is something that so many people have to work through because so many people tell me in readings, private readings, in emails and messages, they tell me that they really want to change their lives and they do want to attract more money, you know, but then when we break down what exactly the next step is going to be, they're afraid to take it, or they hesitate, or they feel they don't know enough, or they can't, you know, they don't trust. And so I'm feeling like you might be struggling a little bit with that, Libra, as we move into the new month of May. Now, this is not anything that's abnormal. This is very common, but at the same time, you're going to have to kind of push yourself past outside of your comfort zone if you're really trying to transform your life financially. Okay. Next card up is the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords, sometimes she can be very, the word vicious is coming to mind, but I don't even know. Maybe that's too strong of a word. But the Queen of Swords, you know, she's kind of a no nonsense, no BS kind of energy. You know, it's like she knows what she needs to do. She doesn't tolerate the nonsense, but at the same time, sometimes she could be a little bit too much in that. You know, it's like, I know I'm not trying to, it's like she's not trying to you know, do something bad, but sometimes because she's so extreme with stopping something, discontinuing something, cutting something off, that she doesn't really allow things to kind of diminish naturally. And I don't even know if this is making sense, but I'm feeling with this Queen of Swords energy is that she is someone who kind of cuts things off too soon. Maybe that's a more simplistic way to say it. You know, and I think that could make a lot of sense because what we talked about with the Fool card, sometimes it's like you're so quick to say no without even giving something fully a chance. You know, you're so quick to say, oh, it's not working. Oh, you know, tried that, something else. I have to do something else now. You know, instead of exploring why or how you can make it work, okay? Next up is the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords, his energy is very different, especially with him being in the reverse. Now the King of Swords is a very logical, analytical energy as far as removing things. The thing about the King of Swords, though, is that sometimes he can be a little slow to say no to something, right? She's a little bit too quick. He's a little bit too slow, right? And so you kind of have this back and forth. You kind of have this push and pull. As it relates to your money, is that sometimes you have to really figure out where you're going to stand, as it relates to anything, right? This is especially true when it comes to work and when it comes to our investments. Sometimes we're in and sometimes we're not, I think I want to work there. Well, maybe I don't. You got to figure this out so you can create some stability. Next, we have the Six of Wands in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse tells me you're not getting the recognition you deserve, Libra. Someone's not giving you credit for an accomplishment that you have done. This happens a lot in the workplace. Unfortunately, I do see that. I've experienced it myself. But there's something going on in the workplace where someone's either taking the credit for work you've done, or everyone knows you achieved or you did something, but they're just not acknowledging it. It's very unfortunate, but this is one of those things that you just got to have to learn to live with it. And I'm not saying it's fair and I'm not saying it's right, but at the same time, it's one of those things that it happens to all of us. But I have a feeling that this is going to play out later on. We're going to see if anything else about this shows up later on in the reading. But there's some of you who are not getting the recognition you deserve. All right, next up we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords in the reverse talks about something being stopped, diminished, taken away, something being discontinued. It's something you have no control over, unfortunately, because this is in the reverse. So something's going to end. Something's going to be cut off. Something's going to be removed. Now, it's not always bad. It's not always bad. I don't want you to assume it is. But at the same time, it's something that has to be allowed to stop. Something that has to be allowed to be let go of. Next, we have the High Priestess in the reverse. The High Priestess in the reverse means that you have to really trust your intuition more, trust your gut feelings. That will lead you in the direction that you need to go and that you want to go. It will help you accomplish the goals that you're trying to work on. But when you don't trust your intuition, that's when things can go a little wonky, okay? Especially if you're trying to make more money, if you're trying to create, more career success, if you're trying to really advance, maybe up level in your business, whatever the case may be. If you can take the time to really listen to your gut and really, trust the ideas and the messages that may come through, you're going to be in a much stronger position. All right, Libra, let's see what else shows up for you. Okay. All right, what else do we need to know for the sign of Libra as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of May 2021? What do we need to know for the sign of Libra? All right, Libra. Once we hit the second half of May, things are actually going to be going really, really well for you. You've got two very positive cards here. You've got a beautiful card there. The Star card in the upright position. This is a very nice card to see because it means that you are the star of the show. Now, remember I talked about the Six of Wands where you're not getting the credit you deserve. Looks like the Star card says, hey, that is only going to be a temporary thing for those of you that this does apply to, because the Star card literally is you being the star of the show, you being the star of the experience, okay? Now, as it relates to money, for those of you, maybe that doesn't apply. Star means that things are definitely going to fall into alignment for you. If you are trying to do some investing or maybe some business, whatever, you're definitely going to have things really just kind of come together for you in a very beautiful, powerful, and positive way. That's a very exciting card. Also, it means that, success is coming to you. The other thing about the Star card is that, it really is it's a demonstrative card, meaning that success is demonstrated. Success shows up, and it's very bright, and it's very exciting, and it's a very highly energetic, wonderful, wonderful card. Next, we have the Six of Cups. Someone or something from your past is showing up for a very pleasant surprise. This could be an old work person, maybe someone from college or school or something like that. But you reconnect with someone in a beautiful way, and it turns out to be a really good opportunity. It could be, maybe this could be a new client, new customer for your business. Maybe they connect you with someone who can really help you, get a new job, start a new career, whatever the case may be. But you are going to have a beautiful reconnection from someone in your past. Next, we have the Seven of Swords here. Now, this is the only card sometimes I don't like to see. Why? Because it means that somebody is taking something, or someone is doing something dishonest behind the scenes. Now, this is going to affect you. And the interesting thing is that this card fell on the Six of Wands. Now, the Seven of Swords means that someone is doing something behind the scenes that is dishonest. Somebody's doing something that's shady. And I'm feeling like this is a card, you probably already got a sense or maybe a little inkling that this is going on with a particular person. You really need to trust your gut. Remember, the High Priestess says you're not paying attention to those gut feelings. This is definitely something, if you have a hunch about somebody, believe it, okay? Because this is definitely something that you don't want to ignore. But I'm feeling like this is a heads up, this is a warning, okay? That if you have a gut feeling that somebody's doing something shady, you're probably right. Next up, we got the Knight of Wands. This is assistance as it relates to work and money that doesn't come through. Now, could these two cards be related? Absolutely, because they're side by side, and we already know that this person is not on the up and up. The Knight of Wands means that you were counting on somebody to show up or somebody to do their part, and they don't. Either someone doesn't come into work that day and they drop it, somebody drops the ball and it lands on your lap. Could be somebody promised, something and then it doesn't come through. But you're going to overcome. When all is said and done, you're going to win, and you're going to win big. How do I know? I got the Nine of Cups here. Nine of Cups is the ultimate wish card. Whatever you're wishing for, something about it is going to show up, right? If you're wishing for, a promotion, a raise, whatever, somehow, some way, that's going to come together for you. Now, the thing is it may not come in exactly the way that you're expecting, but it is coming, okay? I can tell you that, and I feel that. I feel that energetically for you, Libra, that something good is definitely coming. So even though you may have a little hiccups here, like I said, when all is said and done, it's all going to work out in your favor beautifully. All right, let's see what else is going on with my beautiful Libras as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of May, 2021. All right, as we hit the second half of May, Libra, looks like you're going to be separating from something, right? Got the Two of Cups in the reverse. Now, the Two of Cups in the reverse means that you are going to disconnect from someone or something. Something that's not profitable, something that doesn't pay off, something that doesn't benefit you. Remember, we are all about making money here on this channel, and if there is something that is not benefiting you, you have every right, you have all the permissions in the world to stop doing or stop connecting with that person or thing. We make no excuses for trying to make our lives abundant, prosperous, and wealthy here, okay? So I'm feeling like this is a thing where you actually deselect yourself out of something. Could be a friendship. We all have those friends that say, hey, let's go out. You go out, oh, Drats, I left my wallet in the car. I left my credit card at home. Can you cover me this one time? We've all got people like that. Well, I don't have anybody like that anymore, but you know what I mean. You know, there's people in our lives that need to be cut off for whatever reason, because it's a one-sided deal, and it doesn't benefit us at all to keep them around. So I have a feeling like that's what's going to be going on once we hit that third week of May. Next, we got the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the card of being discouraged. And I don't want you to be discouraged, Libra. The other thing, too, about the Nine of Wands is sometimes it's the card where people are ready. It indicates the energy of wanting to give up. But I'm seeing this is a temporary thing here, because the Two of Swords in reverse means you make a decision. So, you know, you're feeling like, I guess this could be maybe just a warning that you're probably going to go through the whole cycle of emotions where you're feeling like, oh, I want to give up, and oh, I want to quit. This isn't worth it. Things aren't working. Everybody goes through those same roller coaster of emotions and frustrations when they're trying to build wealth for themselves, okay? So just understand that it's temporary and you're going to get through it. Like I said, the Two of Swords is telling me that you do make a decision. You don't feel, you know, tied or frozen or stuck. No, you make a decision. You may not know if that's the right decision, but you do make a decision, okay? You make the decision to move forward. You're confident that you're going to do something in order to improve your situation. Next, we got the Ace of Wands here. Now, the Ace of Wands in the reverse says that things kind of start, but they don't necessarily take off as quickly as we'd like. Okay, now the Wands is the working cards. It's the cards about work. It's the cards about, you know, having a livelihood, you know, and how you pay the bills, how you serve other people, how you do all the things. So while you are going to be doing quite a bit, it's probably just not going to really explode into anything major right off the bat. But it doesn't mean it's not working. You're just going to have to really pay attention here to, you know, what's going on, and you're also going to have to really pay attention to how you feel, okay? And you're also going to have to trust that things will work out in the right timing and in the right way. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is the card of work slowing down. And I'm not surprised, because remember, we talked about that here, where things just don't take off as quickly as we'd like. You may even experience a dip in your business or a dip in your workflow. You know, maybe even some of your investments may temporarily take a dip, okay? Like I said, it's all part of the process, and you're just going to have to understand that this is how things happen and this is how things are flowing right now. Finally, we got the Three of Swords. This is the card of disappointment. You know, I'm feeling like this is a very emotional card for some of you, because, you know, you see all this stuff happening in the second half of May. You know, you're kind of cutting people off, feeling a little discouraged. Things are going slow. And so, you know, you're just kind of disappointed here. I do want to encourage you, though, but, you know, this is falling onto the wish card. And sometimes we've all heard the saying, be careful what you wish for, because it doesn't always come wrapped up in a pretty bow. You know, understand that what you wish for is coming. It's not going to be delivered probably in the way that you expect, but that doesn't mean it's not still good. I speak from experience on this, and I know many other people can agree with me. And you have to understand that sometimes things take time, and sometimes things are kind of rocky, but it doesn't mean that whatever it is that you're hoping and wishing for is not coming, okay? All right, Libra, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of May. 2021. Nice. All right, so as we close out May, Libra, this is going to be good. All right. Number one, I already talked about how you're going to be letting some people go, right? You're going to have to understand that this is something that's long overdue. They're probably not going to be happy. They're probably not going to, make it easy for you. But when all is said and done, you're going to win, right? And it's not going to be at your expense. It may even be at the other person's expense. But at the same time, that's okay, because this wasn't a very beneficial situation for you to begin with. Okay? It's going to feel a little, you're going to feel some tugs, you know, emotional tugs. But at the same time, you did the right thing, the best thing for you at this time. Next, we got the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles means holding on tight to the finances. You may be feeling a little insecure, maybe financially insecure. Maybe some things happen and you're like, oh, I need to hold on to the finances a little bit more. That's understandable. I think we're all kind of going through that. The thing is you just want to make sure you keep it in perspective, right? Just because maybe you're interpreting something as like a panic, you don't want to be too caught up in that. Okay, you really want to understand that, you know, there's a time to reap and there's a time to sow and there's a time to hold and there's a time to sell, right? Excuse me. So just understand that I'm feeling like a real temporary energy here, you know, and so understand that just because things are happening doesn't mean things are not happening. Other things are not happening, I should say. Okay, but like I said, don't overreact and feel like you have to hold on tight to every penny, okay? You're going to be okay. I can promise you that. Next, we have the Temperance card. Temperance card in the reverse means things are going to feel a little out of balance, but you're working through it and you're shifting, you know, you're kind of going with the flow. You are, you know, moving in one direction and then you're moving in another direction, and things are, you know, things are never going to be perfectly harmonious for any of us. You know, some days you're up, some days you're down. But when all is said and done, you know, you understand that you just have to kind of go with the flow. And this is especially important as it relates to your money and to your finances. You know, sometimes you got to spend, other times you got to save. And I think that just kind of reiterates what we talked about here. Next up, we have the Knight of Cups. I love this card because it means somebody is showing up to save you. Now, I don't mean that literally because, you know, sometimes we all have to take our time and we have to figure things out for ourselves. But there's some support that you were hoping for, and it shows up, and it shows up for you in a very big way. And this is good because it literally means somebody, you know, your knight in shining armor, somebody showing up at exactly the right time with exactly what you need in the way or the amount or however it is that you need it. It's like someone perfectly answers your prayer, and it's just a very beautiful thing. Now, this could be a person. It could also be a thing. It could be a company. You know, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe your lawnmower broke and your neighbor says, hey, you know, we're moving. We've got this lawnmower. We're not going to take it. Can I give it to you? And I say that because that actually happened to my dad. You know, his lawnmower broke and he wasn't in a position to buy the one he wanted. And his neighbor, they were moving and they gave him a brand new lawnmower, which is actually better than the one that he was looking to buy. So I'm just saying, it's one of those types of situations where someone just shows up and, you know, it's like an answered prayer. Okay, so get ready for that, Libra. Finally, we got the Ten of Swords here. The Ten of Swords means that the worst is over as it relates to emotional heartache. Maybe you were feeling betrayed in some way. That all gets resolved by the time we close out the month of May. You know, not to say whatever it was doesn't still bother you, but when it comes to money and finances and wealth, those things are not like, what's the word? It's not like it's hanging over, causing a shadow. It's not getting in the way of you moving forward and being productive and creating the life you want. Okay, Libra, so just understand you're in the healing phase, you're in the rebuilding phase, and you are getting exactly what you need, and you're doing exactly what you should be doing right now. So you've got a very powerful month, Libra. I hope you're ready for it, and I hope, you know, you give yourself grace, you know, as you kind of maneuver through all this, because this is definitely, like I said, it's shifting energy, it's being non-resistant to things that come up, but when all is said and done, you're going to be just fine. All right, Libra, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Secret Language of Color Oracle card. Oh, we got this. This is beautiful. One of my favorite colors is turquoise. And this says, awaken your empathy. Card number 34. Empathy is your ability to feel, your ability to sense things, your ability to kind of relate to the feelings and maybe some emotions of other people, and to really understand, from their perspective as opposed from, from your own. The other thing about empathy too is sometimes it just allows us to be more connected with other people, and to just really understand the journey that they're on. And, maybe it's not the same experience that we have had or are having, but we can understand where they are. They could be a little bit ahead, maybe a little bit behind of us or behind us. But, it's just really being sensitive to other people and accepting them and meeting them where they are. All right, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.